right, Ashlyn, so for your math, this is April 28th video. So for your math, go ahead and get out your math book and open to page 139. And on page 139 in section 1, we're going to just do a few things together, and then the rest of this page will be on your interactive worksheet that will be a graded assignment, okay? So do your best on it. Number 1, for letter A, we are going to write or list the multiples in order and then find the least common denominator for each two numbers that they give you. So if we have 3 and 4, our multiples for 3, remember multiples are the numbers we are counting by. Multiples is just our skip counting. So when we have multiples, we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, comma, dot, 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 because they're going to go on forever and never end. For 4, we have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, dot, 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 and they're going to go on and on forever and never quit. So our least common multiple for 3 and 4 is 12. Good job. Letter B, multiples for 5 and 10. We're finding our least common multiple. So for 5, we have 5, 10, 15, dot, dot, dot. For 10, we have 10, 20, 30, dot, dot, dot. So our least common multiple for 5 and 10 is 10. Good job. For letter C, we have 6 and 9. So for 6, we have 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, dot, dot, dot. For 9, we have 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, dot, dot, dot. And our least common multiple for 6 and 9 is 18. Good job. Letter D, for 8 and 12, we have 8, 16, 24, dot, dot, dot. For 12, we have 12, 24, 36, dot, dot, dot. So our least common multiple is 24. All right, look at section 4 and solve the word problems. Charles Finney is thought by many to be the greatest evangelist since the apostles. Of the people under his preaching who confessed salvation, 85 out of 100 remained true to God. Reduce 85 to 100 to lowest terms. Now don't freak out on me just because they're big numbers. 85 to 100. We're going to divide 85 by 5 and divide 100 by 5, and we'll probably have to do it again, but let's see. So, because 5, I don't know if it's our greatest common factor. I believe it is. 5 will go into 85 one time. 1 times 5 is 5. 8 minus 5 is 3. And we bring down our 5, so that's 17. So equals 17, and 100 divided by 5. Do you know 100 divided by 5 without dividing it out? An easy way to do it is to say how many times will 5 go into 10. It'll go in there 2 times, and 5 times 2 is 10. Then we just bring our other 0 back up. So 17 over 20 divides 85 over 100 into simplest form. It reduces it into simplest form. Look at letter B. It says the Apostle Paul was a tent maker. Suppose he had material these lengths: 1 3/4 yards, 2 1/4, 3 3/4 yards, and 2 3/4 yards. What was the total length? So let me write these down here. And you can write them down on a piece of paper as well, or in your book. 1 3/4, 2 1/4, 3 3/4, and I can't read that last one. 2 3/4. Yes, and 2 3/4. So we add them up. We have 1 and 2 is 3, 6, 7, 8. Our denominator is 4. We have 3, 4, 7, and 9. 8 and 9/4, but 9/4 is an improper fraction. So we're going to have to turn that into a mixed number. 9 divided by 4. 4 will go into 9 2 times. 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract. 9 minus 8 is 1. 1 is our numerator. 4 is our denominator. So it's 2 1/2. So now we just have to put our two whole numbers together. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus our fraction, and 1/2 is our answer. Okay? And then letter E, it says Michael Faraday, an English scientist, believed that studying science teaches us more about God. Faraday conducted scientific studies for 54 years at the Royal Institution in London. circle the numbers that 54 is a multiple of. So these are numbers that if we count by, we would eventually get to 54. Well, we know that 54 is an even number, so 2 is obviously going to be a multiple, because we could count by 2s and eventually get to 54. 3 is a multiple, because if we kept counting after 36, then we would have 39, then we would have 42, and then we would have 45, then we would have 48, then we would have 51, and then we would finally get to 54. So 3 is a multiple. 4 is not a multiple, because if we got to, let me see, we get to 48, after 48 would be 52, and then after 52 would be 56. So 4 is not a multiple. 6 is a multiple. We know that 9 times 6 is 54. 7 is not a multiple. 8 times 7 is 56, so we've already passed it at that point. 8 would not be a multiple, and 9 would be a multiple because 9 times 6 is 54. Okay, go ahead and turn the page to page 140 and look at section 6, and we're going to look at letter C. So we have 20 and 9/10 minus 6, oh, my tickly nose, and 7/10. So 20 minus 6 is 14. That's our whole number. Bring our denominator down. 9 minus 7 is 2. But 2/10 can be reduced. You've got to start recognizing when our fractions can be reduced, because I am starting to count off for that. Your fraction has got to be in lowest form, reduced if possible. So our greatest common factor for 2 and 10, 2 can go into 10 evenly, so 2 will be our greatest common factor. So we'll bring our whole number over, and we'll say 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So our final answer is 14 and 1/5. Okay? And then for letter D, we have 8 and 7/12 minus 6 and 5/12. Subtract our whole numbers. 8 minus 6 is 2. Write our denominator 12 and subtract our numerators. 7 minus 5 is 2. 2/12 can be reduced. So we could count by 2s and get to 12. So 2 is our greatest common factor. So we write our whole number, bring it on over. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And 12 divided by 2 is 6. So our final answer is 2 and 1/6, okay? All right, so that is your math for today. Go ahead and do your best on your worksheets. Flip back over to page 139. And on page 139, section 3, change to improper fractions. That's just 13/7. That's just as if you had an answer, you added or subtracted, and your answer was 13/7. I guess that'd be adding, it would be subtracting. You would have to turn that into a whole or mixed number. 13 divided by 7. 7 goes into 13 one time. 13 minus 7 is 6. 6 is our numerator. 7 is our denominator. So our answer is 1 and 6/7. That one turned into a mixed number. But go ahead and look at letter B. 12 divided by 6, or 12 over 6. What is 12 divided by 6? Remember, our fraction bar means divide. So 12 divided by 6 is 2. That one comes out as a whole number, okay? All right, so that's it, kid.